US monetary policymakers have spent the last year trying to tame inflation with higher interest rates to slow hiring, shed jobs, but also curb spending that may finally be happening, and with it, fears of a recession. Private sector job growth rose by 144,000 in March. That's below analysts' expectations. Meanwhile, annual pay went up at a rate of 6.9%. That's down from 7.2% in February. New hires were evenly split between services and manufacturing sectors, despite the dominance of the service sector in the US labor market. Leisure and hospitality saw additional hires, while the financial industry lost workers. US Fed Chairman Jerome Powell has pushed to put the US economy in a kind of medically induced coma to ease price increases, but waking it back up is another question, and some analysts really worry that he won't be able to.
So in terms of comparing this current environment to 2008, 2009, you would hope that with all the regulation that was put into place after 2008, 2009, that we would not have a crisis like that. However, people have to remember is that what has occurred in the marketplace and the economy since that situation, we've had basically zero interest rate environment since that period of time, and we had a massive amount of money that's been put into the economy. Those two situations, it essentially created an over-levered world. And now when you have a Fed, and this is why I say a slow bleed that eventually bleed out, is you have a Fed that has moved up interest rates at a speed that we haven't seen in an extremely long time, somewhere around 40 years plus. So when you have an over-levered world faced with rates that has increased so much in a short period of time, it's going to cause major cracks in an economy and in the banking system. So you would hope that as the Fed has been articulating to all of us and banks, et cetera, that they would be prepared for this. But unfortunately, I don't believe that's going to be the case. I personally am not forecasting a crisis-like situation like 08, 09, but I do believe it's going to get bad.
Now let's go to other top stories from around the world. Amazon says that it will reduce employee stock awards, a part of its compensation plan that gives company shares to staff. The move comes weeks after the e-commerce giant announced a second round of mass layoffs, struggling to keep up with an uncertain economy. Amazon also plans on changing its pay structure as well as its compensation model in future years. Credit Suisse has won a $41 million lawsuit against Saudi Prince Fahd bin Abdulaziz Al Saud over a loan to refinance a super yacht. London's High Court ruled that the prince is liable to pay his company Burgundy Sea Ltd's debts to Credit Suisse. The judge had ruled in favor of the Swiss lender without a trial at a hearing last month. And Apple has announced its entry into the Indian market with the opening of its first brand new retail store in Mumbai. The move comes roughly 2 decades after the tech giant began selling products in India. It's also expected to give a boost to the Make in India initiative, as Apple plans to source products from local manufacturers. And that is all from Business for now.